welcome to my first TV show in English. I'm Laura Grazioli from Cidesco International, and Life Excellence in Italy is joining me today to talk about the future trends in spa business. Laura, welcome. How are you?
I'm very fine, and thank you for inviting me here. It's a real pleasure being with you again. Welcome to our audience as well.
Yes. I wanted to talk about the future trends in spa because it is the HoReCa business in general. The sector has been extremely hard hit, and people don't really know what to do in these times, how to communicate their brands when actually there is nothing to sell. Nobody knows when the industry will come back to life. How should brands approach customers in these times? So I wanted to talk to the best specialists in this industry. Laura is General Manager of Life Excellence. She graduated Classical Studies and Business from Ruskin University in Cambridge, and initially worked as an external collaborator for well-known strategic and organizational consultancy companies. She has a master in retail excellence, and she attended the courses of the Spa Academy Life Excellence, Cidesco, Italy, and is among the first ones to have obtained an international diploma in spa and beauty management, Cidesco. She's currently sales and marketing director on the board of Cidesco International and head of international relations in Cidesco Italia. So a bit about Cidesco in English, because we will talk about this brand quite a few times during this show, because it was founded in 1946 in Brussels with a head office in Zurich, and it is the short for Comité International d'Esthétique et de Cosmétologie, which is the world standard for beauty and spa therapy. It's a very important name because, in my opinion, it is just like the Michelin stars for restaurants.
Yeah.
It is true, right?
Yeah,
so,
that's it. Yeah.
When a spa has the Cidesco standard, the logo, you know that you go for absolute top quality. Is that correct?
Yeah, it is, especially about training. Cidesco, very well known worldwide. It is present in 33 countries around the world, and it's got a lot of schools following our standards. So the estheticians and beauty therapists and spa therapists graduated with Cidesco, they have like a gold star, it's like you said, like Michelin stars for restaurants. So what we want to achieve is to have this global quality of training, because sometimes, it is very difficult for the client as well to understand and to see whether there is quality or not in a salon or in a spa. So, it's a quality badge.
Yes, so it's a certificate of excellence.
Yeah.
You do a lot of trainings for spas in Italy and for spas worldwide, and we met a few months ago in Bucharest at Thermalia, which is a leading event in Romania for the spa business, and you guys had a presentation there which was absolutely astonishing for me to understand where the spa sector is going. We had a talk in November, but I wanted to come back to you to see what has been changed, and what do you feel that the market is perceiving in terms of threats and opportunities? How should brands react in these very difficult times when they have absolutely nothing to sell but be in contact with their clients? So my first question to you is, how do brands communicate when there is nothing to sell?
Well, yeah, as you said, we have like an observatory from our point of view that is either in Italy with Life Excellence and worldwide with Cidesco. And we've seen there are many differences in each country, because, for example, in Italy, we've been in lockdown since the 7th of March, so it's been more than 40 days now. And all the beauty salons and spas, they're completely closed since then. So you can imagine how difficult it is for them to communicate with their clients, because they were just not used to it. And but I wanted to show you some research that I've done on the change of brands, not specifically on the beauty industry. And you can see here in the slide, you have Nike, you have McDonald's, and you have the Olympic Games, and you can see how they changed their brand. That the brand is your identity. Brands very few times they change their logos because it's their picture basically, and this very difficult times we're going through, they made them decide to change their logo and to change the way they communicate as well. Because, for example, Nike, they used to say, just go out and have fun and play together. And now what they're saying is that if you want to do something for the world, if you want to play for the world, then just stay at home. So it's amazing. It makes me really have the goosebumps. And McDonald's as well. This is a picture taken from an advertising in McDonald's Brazil, and as you can see, the two legs of the M of McDonald's, they're just being apart instead of being together. And the same with the Olympic Games, the 5 circles, they're just apart. And I think that's
logos.
Yeah, I think it's a very big sign of something that is pandemic, is for all the people, all the countries, in the same way, basically.
Yeah. How do brands in Italy react to social distancing and being actually is isolated from all their customers, and they have services and products which they cannot sell online, so they are based and they depend on the direct contact with the customers. How do they react?
Well, actually now all the brands are working towards the reopening. So what they're saying now, all of them, is just stay at home. That's the main message they're sending out, all of them. And then let's think about the future. So what are we going to do for the future? Most of the brands linked to the spa industry and the beauty industry, they're planning the reopening. So they're trying to communicate with the clients that right now, if you think about it, it's not just the clients coming in their shops or in their salons, but it's all the people on the internet basically, because now they're talking to all of them, while before they were talking only to the people going inside the shops. So that's a very big change as well. And what they're offering now is just support, which I think is a very good thing to do, because there's no point in offering a product when you cannot sell it. And there's no point in pushing people in buying something, in spending money in such a hard times, because a lot of people in Italy are without a job now, or just they just get very little money. And it is the same all around the world, because of course you've seen in the United States, and it is a very difficult times there as well. So that's what I think is a good thing to do. Just tell people that you're there, that you will be there, and maybe try to work on your brand, on your face.
I have seen a lot of approaches during these times. In Romania, it's not yet reopening times, but of course brands are preparing in a certain way. But this economic crisis, this shutdown, has created a lot of confusion in the approaches of communication, of marketing, of sales. I've seen a lot of brands selling products which is kind of pointless when everybody's holding tight to their money and buying just the basics, food, ensuring their safety. So I'm convinced that the behavior of the consumers is deeply affected, and they will have more attention in their spending behavior from now on, because we don't know when things are coming back to normal, whatever normal means. Maybe normal is redefined now. And how do you think brands in the spa sector should approach offering their products, the reopening? What do you see as the best practices in Italy?
I think there, we can consider that there is a big difference between big brands, big companies, and small realities, small salons and small spa. What we suggest to them is that they work a lot on their brand image, in their brand identity, because that's what they need to do right now. So what we give them is just some suggestions in how to take care of that. I always say that, we receive a lot of curricula, and most of the times the picture on the curriculum is like with a person with a glass in their hand or in a swimsuit. That's your image you're trying to sell. So you should be coherent with what you are and with what your business is as well. So if you are an esthetician, of course, you need to show that you are a professional. So there's no point right now in showing people that you are desperate at home in your gym suit. You need to show them what they're going to find once they come back to your So working on our image is very important, and on the contents we write on the on our social as well. Because we were having this the conversation before. In Italy, a lot of people are becoming experts in all the subjects. So if you talk to anyone, they will know exactly what coronavirus is and what marketing is, and what a business plan is. And I think there's no point in people pretending to be what they're not. Just be yourself. Be what you are. That's that's our suggestions.
Yeah. What are the main things to avoid in communication right now online? The things that you have seen, which are really bad examples, like how not to do communication.
Yeah, what I just said is one, of course. So try not to be what you're not. So don't pretend. Don't lie to your customers, because they're gonna come back to you at a certain point, and everything you said is gonna stick there. Because it's internet is very different from having a conversation between two people in a room. It's gonna stay there. Everyone can read or can hear that. So even when you comment on topics on people Facebook pages or YouTube or whatever, try to be professional. Try not to criticize too much, because no one likes that. The haters is something that is sometimes we find in our social pages, and no one likes them. So try to be kind, try to be real, try to be yourself always. That's what we suggest to do.
How do you think the new brands will look like, which are shaped by this coronavirus crisis? How do you think the new brands in the spa industry are going to look like? What do you think the main lessons will be learned?
Well, it's very difficult to say right now, and especially worldwide, we have very different approaches, because some countries, in Italy, we are locked down, so no one's moving from home, and other countries are in lockdown, but others are not. So probably the countries that are less affected from this, and those that are not closed down so much, they will not change as much their brand identity. While probably in the countries where the coronavirus has hit so badly, we will experience some changes. But it is very difficult to say it right now, because now we are all for social distancing, so just keep apart, stay apart, and stay at home. But what I feel is that when we will be able to stay together again, then that will be the main message: stay together, stay strong.
True. I have seen quite a few brands, big brands, using a lot of user-generated content, gathering all kinds of content from their customers, from potential customers, from influencers, and just making their daily content on Instagram stories, on YouTube, on Facebook posts, just beautiful strategies of communication based on feedback from their customers. Do you see that trend applicable in the spa industry?
Oh yes, of course. I think all these changes they stimulated social creativity in both ways. Social meaning social media, but social also towards being social with people, with the society. So trying to be supportive. And that's what I see as well. A lot of brands are communicating more right now, instead of being a vertical communication of the brand communicating to the customers, it's both ways. So it's more horizontal communication. And what I see is that people are becoming more multitasking. They're using both their sides of the brain, you know, the left and right, that most of the times they conflict because one is very creative, the right one, while the left one is more scientific. And now people need to use both of them because they need to communicate to other people. They need to use their skills, also technical skills with the IT and you know, all these instruments we're learning to use, and also creative because their content has to be creative. So exactly. I think it's a good thing.
I lost you for a bit. Can you repeat the last sentence?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Laura, can you hear me?
Yeah.
I lost you for a few seconds. Can you repeat the last sentence, please?
Well, I was saying that maybe I just repeat a bit behind. I was saying that we're becoming multitasking. So we are using both our sides of the brain, the left one and the right one. We know that the left one is more scientific, while the right one is more creative. And now to stay on the social media, you need to use both, because you need to have IT skills, or to improve your IT skills, but also to be creative, to give a good image of what you put on the social media, because words are not enough. You use images as well, and they need to look good.
Yes, totally agree. These days you're very busy at Life Excellence. I've also attended one webinar of yours on communication during the Corona crisis, and I found it very interesting. It was presented by you and Andrea Bovero, the founder of Life Excellence. Can you talk a bit more about what's happening at Life Excellence Spa Academy? We've had an interview in November where you shortly presented what are the services that you provide there. I would like to ask you to make a wider presentation.
Yeah, Andrea Bovero is the founder of Life Excellence, and the president is a very well-known trendsetter and is an expert of this industry. And he wanted to create this spa academy, this training center, so that people can get closer to this industry, because there's not much knowledge on it. And what we're trying to do is to improve the knowledge of the sector, because it is not, it's not very similar to other sectors. Yes. So the Spa Academy concentrates in training spa and beauty managers. Mm-hmm. And so we have this full immersion course about spa and beauty management. It's it takes a lot of effort, not only for us, from the teacher point of view, but also for people committing to this kind of courses, because it is the main aim is a personal improvement, but also an improvement in the career. So what we have experienced is that people wanting to improve their career, they want to take these courses. And of course, now we were used to have full immersion 7 days courses in a hotel with about 50 people each time. And now, of course, we cannot do it anymore. So we are moving our training online, at least for the moment. And this is taking, I have to be honest, a lot of time, because it is not so simple to change our habits of being with the students, of our courses, and you've known us, so you probably can imagine they're very participative.
Yes.
We do a lot of things with them, with workshops, and with we also have a evening in the spa, all in our bathrobes, all together, to experience what they will do in their job, because our training is on-the-job training. And well, we are happy to make this change, but we still want to meet our students in the future.
Yes, I've seen that the vibe that you create around your events is a trademark of yours, and it's a very good point for students when they enter into contact with you guys, with the professors, with the trainers, because you create a special atmosphere, and of course everything is just amplified during your evenings in the spa, which is a trend that you mentioned in November when we met in Bucharest. I asked you what are the trends in spa industry, and you said we're bringing the party into the spa, and I was
that's right.
impressed by this. Of course, with these changes that are happening right now, can you sum up what are the trends that you forecast, that you see happening in the future? Is party going to be even bigger in the spa after social distancing?
Well, I actually brought you a present, Anna, that is this slide that you can see right now, and it's the future of wellness, 10 trends by Andrea Bovero. What we, from our observatory, what we realized is that the first thing that's going to happen is that people will move from global trends to local. So this 0 kilometer trend will mean that people will not look so far anymore, but they will try to use the local the local suppliers and everything that their country can offer them. And our second trend, luxury is less. It's like less is more, it's luxury is intimacy, is exclusivity, it's isolation. And this happens when we have less people, when we have less noise around us. So that will be the new luxury trend, being more exclusive, in a more exclusive environment. Then the suite revolution, we always talk about amenity spa, and most of the times they are not so famous, they're not so used, but we will rediscover all the private spa and the small spa, because they can offer what people are looking for right now, that is again to be isolated, to be, because it's a more secure environment. And then Oriental touch, it's, we used to care a lot about touch, massage is about touch. And what people right now really are afraid of is to touch, to be close to each other. So probably we'll have this staying apart, a little bit apart, like the Orientals teach us. And of course, clean up, because now hygiene is one of the main topics. So customers, we really care about cleaning up, about the hygiene in all the environments. So that brings us to the medical style, because salons and spa, they will look a bit more like medical environments than they are now. Now, they are they look more with, they have flowers and they have scents, and probably it's not going to be like that in the immediate reopening of the spas.
Yes, I've seen this trend a lot in Amsterdam. I lived there for a while.
Oh,
I've seen these beauty clinics. This is
yeah.
how they more than that. And they look exactly as you said, as a medical salon, but
Yeah,
specialized on beauty procedures. So I
yeah.
totally get this and see this coming. But
Oh, yeah.
what you are saying about the hygiene procedures, do you think will there be a ritual installed in the beginning of the spa procedures, like one of safety, cleanliness, one to make sure that the client is secure, that the one who's doing the procedures has sanitized, is protecting himself and the client? Do you think there will be extra safety measures introduced?
Oh, yes, of course. There will be, because now the client needs to be reassured. They need to see. And this brings us to the next trend, that is light. You know, most of the times we feel relaxed when the light is low and, you know, when everything is a bit dark. Probably in the future we will need light. We will want to see what the operator are doing, if they do clean their hands, if all the shelves are clean. So light will be very, very important. And you are an expert in perfumes, I know. So you're gonna come to me with this. You're gonna be with me in saying that also the perfumes in the rooms will be very, very important. Now we are getting used to this alcohol perfume. You know, that means that things are clean. And most of the hand sanitizers, they smell like citrus. So probably the citrus perfume will be will mean that the room is clean, that everything is clean, and that will reassure the client. And uh, as we were saying before, the virtual spa means that the spa experience will start before the client goes to the spa. Now, it is already a bit like this, but mostly for the follow-up. So once the client has gone home, then maybe they receive a mail or a message telling them, you know, you'll be happy to have them back. Now the virtual spa will start way before the client goes inside the treatment room. And again, I don't think this is a bad thing, because it means you really take care of your client. And the last trend, the one that I like the most, is why not? We always think, why should we do something? Why is this happening? Why should I go there? And why not? You know, like kids. Kids normally, they don't ask you why, they ask you why not. And this is an approach that I really like, and that I think it will really help us in the future.
Yeah, it stimulates innovation and creativity a lot, and just
Yeah.
leaves room for the wild and crazy ideas, like why not try them? It will be,
Yeah.
I think, a lot of competition in this industry, and in tourism in Horeca, to
Yeah.
offer a client experience. I think, in my opinion, we are entering, after coming out of the coronavirus lockdown, into a client experience economy, an experience
Yeah.
economy. And I think the Horeca sector is really going to have a lot of competition to distinguish themselves from
Yeah.
so many thousands, hundreds of other offers in the same category. So I totally agree that the client experience for any brand, actually, but especially in the spa business, starts a long way before the client arrives into the physical location. So I
Yeah.
think that the brand experience, the client experience, should have so much attention that it needs a lot of care, a lot of detail. And yeah, you guys, I think you offer a lot of specialization in this area, and you take care of every single step in the customer journey.
Yeah. What we concentrate the most is the ritualization of the treatment. You
Yes.
know, that means that everything is part of the ritual. It's not just, you know, when you're having a massage, or that's not the only ritual. It's since the beginning, and it will be since, before people coming into the treatment room. Everything has to be ritualized. Even the hygiene part will have to be ritualized, because otherwise the customer will, the client will feel uncomfortable. And you have to involve them, you have to care about them, you have to make them feel good.
I very much like this this term, the ritual of the client experience. I think it's wonderful.
Yes.
It's a very good food for thought for every sector, but especially for spa. Excellent. Yeah. Laura, thank you very much.
Oh, thank you.
It's a pleasure to talk to you and to find out what's the future of spa industry. I wish you guys a lot of luck in your trainings online. I guess I'll see you after this this whole coronavirus lockdown, and we get out of this a bit wiser, more healthier, and more educated about our buying behavior and our real needs, actually.
Yes, and be confident. That's my personal suggestion. Be more confident that things are gonna be fine, but you need to start working from now. Don't wait. Yes. Don't wait.
Redefine normal for you.
Yeah.
Yes, Laura, thank you very much.
Thank you again. I'll send you a very, very big hug.
Thanks. Ciao.